This is a great question, Sean. So in 1 Corinthians, Paul wrote this: everything is permissible for me, but not everything is beneficial. Everything is permissible for me, but I will not be mastered by anything. And there's something really interesting going on here with this wording. So first, in context, this is the opening statement of a longer passage where Paul warns the Corinthians against sexual immorality. And when I visited ancient Corinth in Greece last year, one thing that surprised me was this enormous outcropping of rock called the Acrocorinth that towers over the city. And at the top stood the ancient temple of the Greek goddess Aphrodite. And that temple was active in Paul's day. And one of the ways people worshiped Aphrodite at that time was through temple prostitution. So, sexual immorality wasn't just common in Corinth, it was normalized. Everyone did it. What's the big deal? And this is the city where Paul planted a church. So, in this passage, most scholars believe that Paul is quoting a slogan that was popular in Corinth at the time: all things are permissible. Panta moi existent. So some new Christians, likely Gentiles coming out of paganism, were using this phrase to justify their sinful behavior. So Paul quotes that slogan not to endorse it, but to challenge it. He says, everything is permissible for me, but not everything is beneficial. Just because something is allowed doesn't mean it's good or helpful or wise. And he says it again, everything is permissible for me, but I will not be mastered by anything. And this connects directly to Romans 6, where Paul says that believers were once slaves to sin. Sin was their master, but now they've been set free in Christ. He's reminding the Corinthians and us today that Christian freedom is not a license to sin. In the very next verse, Paul writes, the body is not meant for sexual immorality, but for the Lord. And then in verse 15, Paul asks a pointed question that seems directly aimed at the temple of Aphrodite. Do you not know that your bodies are members of Christ? Shall I then take the members of Christ and make them members of a prostitute? Never. So this passage teaches the same thing that Paul taught in Galatians 5:13. You, my brothers and sisters, were called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge the flesh. Rather, serve one another humbly in love. In Christ, we're not free to sin, we're free from sin. And we've been freed so that we can love and serve God and others.